So I'm Danny Ishulutak, and I completed high school in 2010. And I went to Nunavut Sivuniksavut year 1 after that, on the same year. Completed it. I tried the second year program just last year in 2011, and I couldn't complete it anymore. So I finished it without completing it till the end. I went back to Peng because it was too rough for me when I was down south. I felt like I was alone too much, and even though there was help, I needed to go back to my family and get back to Pangnirtung. I got shot in June, so that kind of made it rough for me when I got back to Ottawa. So I came back. So I was hanging out with my friend who just came in. I was coming out from the land. I was coming in from the land. We were out hunting. So when we got here, my friend wanted to hang out with me, and so we did. And we had a couple shots of alcohol. And I was a bit buzzed, and she needed the washroom. So I waited outside and just waited because I never entered that place before. And so two of our friends come along, and I thought I was gonna be too weird if I just stay outside, so I said, why not? I'll just go in and be like near the door inside. And then I waited and waited. I didn't really talk much, and then one of my friends come out and say, Danny, you got shot. I did hear somebody say, but I heard a gunshot, and I didn't know where it was coming from, and we didn't know it was who it was intended for. So I got shot, and I didn't notice until I saw blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was an accident one. It wasn't intended for me, it was for someone else. That's what I heard. And I don't know the person that shot me. I never seen his face, or I don't know his voice. I got shot here, and it didn't get any bones, it just got my muscles and fat.
Did you have to get stitches?
No, I got medevac to Inuit and got released the same day. And I didn't take any pills because they prescribed me Tylenol-3, and I never took that pill before. And I didn't have pills for a bit. But the doctors told me that I may not be able to do this anymore. So I was pretty rough on myself trying to get it back, trying to get my muscles back.
But now you can do it?
Yep. Sometimes it's a little weaker doing something, but it's all good. Physically. Mentally, I'm great. I was actually gonna stay here for a year and try to find a job and encourage youth and motivate them into going to post-secondary either down south or either up north. But I got shot, and I thought I couldn't be here any longer, so I just had to leave Ping and go down back to Ottawa. I finished it right almost at the end, so around December 10 to 15. And when I got back, I didn't really do anything. I felt like a big failure, and I was kind of looking for a job, but at the time I was just trying to get my mind straight forward and hang out with my family. Me and my coworker Julie are organizing and creating stuff for the Peer Help program, and it's from grade 4 to 12, and our plans are very broad, so we could do anything that's suitable for the students. My job, and nothing's much new. But I did travel lots when I was in high school, and I love traveling still, and I am planning to do some more. I was in this group called Pangnirtung Youth Leadership Initiative, and you had to fundraise money and volunteer hours. So for the people that volunteer the most, or get to go on the trip. So in 2000, when was it? Somewhere in high school, I went to Costa Rica. After that was Denmark for the COP15 conference. After that was Peru in grade 12. And at Annis, we got to travel to Hawaii.
Wow.
And I lived down south when I was in grade 3, 4, or 5 for 2 years. And I lived in Cambridge Bay for a year for a bit. And Iqaluit, so I went back and forth lots with my life. Getting to know myself a bit more on how patient I am or on how I can do things, and also getting to see the different parts of the world and understanding their culture, and getting to know what's the difference and what's the same between my culture and their culture. That's hard. I like Costa Rica a lot because it's nice and warm, and it was my first international trip. I like Denmark because we talked about climate change, and I like talking about climate change. I really liked Peru. It was something way different. We were high up in the mountains, and it was pretty different for me. And Hawaii, I learned a lot about the native Hawaiians in Costa Rica and in Hawaii, and and I got to be in a hot place, and I was mostly on the beach if we didn't have activities planned. Yep, I have many. I really want, my number one place right now is Greenland. I really want to get, even though they're Inuit too, I really want to get to see what's happening over there. I want to go to Fiji. Not Fiji. What did I say? Fiji. Bali. Where's Bali? Indonesia. And I want to go to Greece. I want to travel lots, but those are my 3 main places that I want to do. I know a couple people there, and they seem way different compared to us, even though we're both Inuit. They're Danish, kind of, and kind of Inuit, and kind of white. So I really want to know what's over there and how they do things. Awesome. It was really good. My year was the best for me. We did lots of stuff, and we were really motivated, and we finished stuff in some classes, lots. And we were just out there, open to anything. And I could say that, and on the other side, I could say that some of my classmates weren't the best, and I could kind of say my classmates almost stopped me from going to post-secondary because of our work-wise, on how much how fast we were doing with our work. So high school was really good, but when I went to Annis, I felt like I was way behind in my English, and I felt like it was like this with homework and our work at Annis. And in high school, it was kind of slow for me. Even though I might not have known when I was in high school, I found out later. Even though we had strong relationships with our teachers, if we had more work and had more homework, I think that we would know more on how to do things if we did go to college, and I did. And my attendance was kind of bad. I would always be late to class but I would still be ahead of my classmates. So going there early or on time, doing a bit more work, and I don't know.
Yeah. That's good.
It all depends. Like my high school experience, it's hard to blame stuff or look at stuff. So it's all up. Some of my teachers were awesome and they did great. Some of my teachers did so bad and didn't put much effort into their work for us. And it was up to the students too to keep the pace going fast. And it was up to our principals and DEA on what, I don't know, what we wanted, what we did, and it's hard to look at stuff and say that was bad and
Yeah.
that was not good. It's the students, but if the student is not able enough or doesn't know that much that attendance is really good, it should be up to the parents to wake them up and do that and encourage. I mean, the teachers could encourage the students to be on time, even when I went to NS, my attendance was somewhat bad. Like I would be late sometimes, and I don't know. It's really hard when you put yourself into it. And in high school, when I went to NS, I really found out that I have to do my work for myself. Because in high school, it feels like you're doing it for the teacher, so you're doing your work for the teacher. But at NS, I learned that you have to do it for yourself and on time. And it was really hard to adjust that into our heads. In high school, my aunt would always wake me up. So waking up was even harder for me. Like my roommates would sometimes wake me up. And work-wise, doing more homework and more work and more studying, that was really hard because I had to manage all of my classes. And it was really hard even to live on my own. How to cook, how to stay clean, how to be on your own was hard. Even though I was kind of independent most of my life. Yeah. My favorite one was my science and photography teacher, which is the same person. And he encouraged and did lots of stuff with us that was really interesting. And I don't know. I had favorite teachers since I was in kindergarten, but that teacher was the best person that could do stuff with us. And also, even though this person wasn't my teacher, he was really helping me on my essays and with my NS application. And I thank him a lot for that. And our homeroom teacher was really good, even though we were somewhat bad to that person.
What did you guys do then?
Her?
Her.
We'd tease her a lot and we'd just play around with her and call her old, even though she was only 30-something. In high school, all of our teachers were white or English, but when we have substitute teachers, they'd be Inuit. And we had an Inuit class, which was pretty awesome, but could have been in a faster pace since we already know Inuktitut and we spoke it. I think digging in more on like the deeper stuff on whatever in Inuktitut would have been a lot better. even right now, Inuit for me is hard sometimes because I was in Ottawa for a year and a half, and I mostly spoke English, and going back here, speaking in my friends, my grandparents, or teachers at the high school now are kind of telling me to speak it more for myself and for the students that come in here. So it's hard from here going down south and going back up here. And even for the people that stay up here, they sometimes have a hard time trying to know that word or say that word. I don't know. English is very catchy and you speak it more. But my grandparents don't speak it, so I have to speak Inuit to them, and it has been the hardest trying to adjust back to speaking Inuit to them. Even though I do, but it's hard trying to explain to them on what this thing is. My plans. I really want to do a lot of stuff and I want to change my job title a lot. But right now, I'm just going to work for a year, 2 or 3 years. And when I'm ready, when I'm mature enough, I'll go back. I really want to go back to university down south. I really want to succeed in a university and just complete it. And I don't know what I really want to do right now. My plans are very all over the place. And I think that my job is helping me selecting on what I want to do first. But I want to travel and go to university. Yep, for sure. But I will probably need to do some upgrading on some of the classes that I want to attend. So it did help me, and NS helped me too. But I think if I want to get specific on this thing, I'd have to upgrade myself in somewhere.
Yeah.
Start teaching the young kids, even in elementary school, if you could manage that into being more independent in elementary school and giving them more homework and more work, will have better knowledge when they go on to junior high and senior high, and it'll be a bit easier for them to have their pace fast. I mean, with their pace on.
Like to keep up.
Yeah.
To be at the same level as.
Yeah. And it's great that I think I kind of heard that they're trying to mix Inuit knowledge and Western knowledge into one and kind of do like math out in the land and out hunting. Or I don't know. But they're trying to mix Inuit culture and Western culture.